Hello, and welcome back to Breaking Sports Drews. Today, I will be telling you my predictions for the Week 2 NFL games this Sunday. There's a large slate this Sunday. It consists of how many games? Let's actually check. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 games this Sunday, and the 14th, the Philadelphia Eagles to wrap it up this Monday against the Atlanta Falcons. But we'll talk about that tomorrow. So first, let's talk about the Sunday teams. And also, before I get into it, I just want to say my podcast got 41 views last episode 3 days ago. I am very happy with that. I just want to point that out before I get started because my other ones were getting like 2 views. So to see that number jump, it did make me happy. And I guess now I have a reason to say to like and subscribe if you are new, and if you're watching me for the first time, if I finally made it onto one or two home pages, which is obviously the goal. But first, let's start here in Baltimore, where the Las Vegas Raiders are traveling to Baltimore to take on, obviously, the Baltimore Ravens in Maryland. So, Baltimore is favored by 8.5 on the spread. They did lose their Week 1 game to the Chiefs, and the Raiders lost Week 1 to the Chargers 22-10. And the Ravens lost up by literally an inch. If they got that, they would have went for 2. And who knows what would have happened? We don't. Okay, the over-under for this game is 44 points. I think this game will go over the point total just because I think the Ravens will score a lot on the Raiders defense in itself. I think they have at least 4 touchdowns, which is 28, maybe a field goal. And I think the Raiders will score a decent amount of points too. My prediction for this game, winner-wise, I'm going to take the Ravens for just 2 reasons. The Raiders obviously don't have a good quarterback, one, or really a good offense. They lost Josh Jacobs. They lost um, Derek Carr, which they didn't even have last year, but that not besides the point. They lost Josh Jacobs. They have Davante Adams, but their quarterback one is not good. They have Zamir White. I don't think he's that good. And just stacking the teams against each other, quarterback, Ravens, running back, toss up, wide receivers, Ravens, tight end, Ravens. Like, it's just not a good look for the Raiders on paper. I don't think it's going to be a good look come game day. I'm going to take Baltimore Ravens to win this game, and I'm going to take them to cover the 8.5 spread, and I don't think it will be close at all. Lamar Jackson's a very dynamic quarterback, amazing not only in fantasy football but regular football alike. He has wide receivers of Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, Isaiah Likely, and in the backfield of J.K. Dobbins left. No, wait, who's it? Derrick Henry. Sorry. So running backs are not a toss-up. I forgot about that somehow. Um, with Derrick Henry in the backfield, I think the Ravens offense is going to have too many options, which is going to help their benefit this week. And I think they're going to beat the Raiders by more than 9 points. Next, we're moving on to the lame of the week. Not the game of the week, the lame of the week. This is the Carolina Panthers and Bryce Young facing off against Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers. This game will be in Carolina. The over-under is set for 42.5. The spread is for Los Angeles to cover by 5. And my personal prediction is I think the Panthers will win this game. Yes, I know that sounds surprising, but I think the Panthers will win this game. I think they showed not a lot of promise in Week 1 with the huge loss, but I think they have a bounce back week, which I know Bryce Young didn't look good, but I do think he's going to throw multiple touchdowns in this game. I think he will go over his 189.5 yard line, his 190. I think they win this game for one reason. I have a lot of trust in their rookie wide receiver, Xavier Legette. I know he did not do good last week, but they also have a veteran wide receiver, veteran running back, Miles Sanders, and Deontay Johnson. I think that not only will the veterans help the young kid, I don't think Justin Tucker's going to have a good week. I know the defense is weak. I know the defense isn't great, but neither team has solidified targets. And I don't think either team has a great defense either. They have their stars, but I am going to take the Panthers to win this game. So obviously that means I'm going to take the Panthers to cover the spread. And I'm going to take the Panthers to win this game. I'm going to say the game is going to end 21-10 Carolina. I think it will be the worst game of the week. I think it will be a few electric plays, but I don't think they will go over the 42.5. I think not only will the Carolina Panthers cover the 5.0 spread, that they will also win outright against the Chargers. And so that is my prediction for that game. And moving on to the next 1 o'clock game, there's a lot of 1 o'clock games. Obviously, the 1 o'clock slate's much bigger. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that we are yet to go over. And moving on to the next game, it's the New Orleans Saints coming off a huge win against the Carolina Panthers, 47-10, versus the Dallas Cowboys coming off a huge win against the Browns, 33-17. I know, both pretty big wins. The spread for this game is Dallas by 6, basically a touchdown without the extra point. That's exactly what it is. And the over-under is 44.5. I think this game goes over very easily. I think this will be a nail-biter. I think it's going to come down to the wire. But I do think Dallas is going to win. I have Dallas. I'm going to take Dallas and Dallas to not cover the spread. I don't think they win by 6 points. I think they squeeze one out against the Saints in a very tight matchup. It's going to be not the game of the week, but a very entertaining game for the team and for the fans. Sorry, for everyone watching. I think the reason Dallas is going to win is because they have a better quarterback. Not, I won't say more experience, but just better overall. They have a decent running game. They're both old guys, but both productive at the end of the day, and they have a better defense. The Saints have a good defense. They have one of the best in the league. But you should have to look at this better defense scenario, because if the Saints are playing the Cowboys, the Saints offense has to score on the Cowboys defense, not the Panthers defense. And I don't see the Saints offense score on the Cowboys defense as much as the Cowboys offense can score on the Saints defense. So I think that the Cowboys will run up the score. I also think the Saints will score a decent amount of points. I have them as well as 6. So I have this game ending Dallas scoring 35 points. Or no, Dallas scoring 42, 7 touchdowns, and the Saints scoring 37 points. Yes, I think this game scores this total. No, hold on. Hold on. Dallas 35, Saints 30. To final score, it's 65 total points. Dallas wins by 5. That's going to be the final score of this game. And actually, I'll give a touchdown score for the games too, because why not? For the Ravens versus the Raiders, I think the touchdown lock of the day is Derrick Henry. He'll find the end zone very easily in this one because of how he can just run over the Las Vegas Raiders O-line. I think anything inside the 10-yard line will be a touchdown for Derrick Henry. I think he'll actually score multiple touchdowns, but that's where you start to dabble in some risky territory. For the Panthers versus the Chargers, I think Miles Sanders will find the end zone. Because once again, I think the Panthers are going to edge this game out. I think they're going to win this game. So I do think Miles Sanders will find the end zone. I mean, like, if I think they're going to win, I have to think about that. I have to take that into my touchdown score prediction. And I think Miles Sanders is a great back. I think, obviously, I'm a little biased towards him since he's a former Philadelphia Eagle, but I think he's a great back at the end of the day. And I know he has been good over the last few, as good over the last few years in his new offense, but I do think he'll find the end zone today, or tomorrow, today in 3 hours, at least once in this game. Next, New Orleans versus Saints. Last game we have to do. This is a pretty up forward one. I'm taking CeeDee Lamb to find the end zone. He didn't in week 1, which is exactly why I think he will. I think he's going to have to be more involved in the offense if they want to win this game. I do think they win this game, but I think it's close. So that's why it's the exact reason I think the Cowboys run the score up. They score a lot, and I think CeeDee gets at least in the end zone 1 time. Probably twice, actually, but I think he's got at least 1 in him. So that's for that reason, I'm going to take CeeDee Lamb anytime touchdown in that game. Next game we have to go over, I believe, hold on, let me check real quick because obviously I'm going to. Yes, this is a 1-0 versus 1-0. Detroit Lions versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Detroit. This is an easy one. I'll make this quick. The Buccaneers are good. They're not good enough. The Buccaneers are going to lose this game. It's not going to be close. The point total is going to go under the 49. Detroit's going to cover the 7.5 spread. The Lions are going to win 2-0, 1-0. To find the end zone, Amon-Ra St. Brown will find the end zone once again after a rough week 1. He's going to have a bounce back week, and I think they incorporate him more in the offense, leading to him also scoring more touchdowns. I don't think the Buccaneers score a lot of points. I think they maybe score 10 points. I had the final score of this one being 28-10 Detroit Lions, and the Detroit Lions win. Okay. I know I've really skimmed past that one, but I really don't have high hopes for that game. But now we have three games in a row that I deem very interesting matchups, VIMs, if you will, were very interesting. I gotta think of it. The VIP games, what are they? Very interesting plays. That's terrible. that's horrible, but um that's what we're going with. Very interesting plays. Okay, the Colts versus the Packers in Lambeau. Now I know. This is game of the week for me, game of the day. Even though Jordan Love isn't playing, I for that reason I'm going the Colts. For that reason I'm going the Colts. I'm very biased towards Anthony Richardson. I'm not gonna lie. I believed in Anthony Richardson since the beginning of his career. Since he was in college, I thought he was going to be the best quarterback out of that class, and I think he is going to be the best quarterback out of that class still, even with C.J. Stroud. I still think he's going to be better in a few years' time. Sorry. And for that reason, I'm going to go the Colts. There's another reason I'm going the Colts. There's an obvious reason I'm going the Colts. Jordan Love went down on the third to last play of the Eagles versus the Packers last week, and they said it's not serious, like year ending, but it's still going to be a while for Jordan Love, at least 3 weeks, which means obviously he's not playing this Sunday. I don't think Willie Willis can lead an offense very well at all. I don't think that the Packers will score many points at all. I think the Colts win this one by at least 5 points. So for that reason, I'm taking the Colts to cover the 2.5 spread. I'm taking Alec Pierce to find the end zone anytime. I know that's a random name, but Anthony Richardson targeted him a lot last week. He scored twice last week, I believe, and he just seemed to make the big plays. He had a 50-yard catch. He had a 60-yard catch. He was coming down with it a lot. So for that reason, I'm going to take the Colts to win, Colts to cover the spread, the under on the 47.5, because once again, I don't think that Malik Willis is going to be able to lead the offense to a lot of points. And sorry, and I don't think Malik Willis is going to be able to lead the offense to a lot of points as step one. And I also don't think that he's a good quarterback. Well, that's obvious. I don't think he's going to lead them to a lot of points. I don't think that Anthony Richardson is going to have an off game just because he's in Lambeau. I think Alec Pierce is going to step up. I think Michael Pittman is going to step up. So for that reason, we are going with the Colts to beat the Packers in Lambeau tomorrow at 1 p.m. Next game we have the Browns. The 0-1 Cleveland Browns are traveling to Florida to play the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are also 0-1. This is another easy one for me. I don't see how the lines are like this. I'm still going to spend a little bit more time than I did on the last easy one, but here's my prediction. I think the Cleveland Browns are going to march into Jacksonville and snatch their chain. I don't think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think Jacksonville is going to win. They're favored by 3 points. I don't see that happening. Amari Cooper's going to find the end zone pretty easily in the first quarter. Jerome Ford's going to find the end zone. We'll take down Amari and say Jerome Ford's going to find the end zone. Deshaun Watson's a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence. The Browns have a better defense than the Jaguars. They just don't match up on paper, and I know that's just paper, and you still have to play well as a team. But I think we saw the Browns do that last year, even when they did have Deshaun Watson for a while. And I just think they're the better team at the end of the day. I don't understand how Jacksonville's favored, and I think that my anytime touchdown pick would be Jerome Ford. I would say the Cleveland Browns are going to win. It obviously means they're going to cover the spread, and that the point total will go over 44 points in this game. That is my prediction. That is my prediction. Those are my big 3. And next game we have our last big banger from the 1 o'clock section. Well, actually, there's one more game I say a banger, not because it's good, but because there's a reason. This is actually a matchup between the San Francisco 49ers, the 1-0 Niners, who are traveling to play the 1-0 Minnesota Vikings. Now, I know on paper I say that and it sounds like, oh, what do you mean this is a great matchup? It is. It still is. And you can't, I won't listen to any arguments against that, okay? I understand I understand a few things, right? The first thing I understand, the Vikings don't have a solidified quarterback. Their quarterback right now is currently named as it is. It's currently that it is Sam Darnold, and that was who it will be coming into this week. But I believe in Sam Darnold for one reason. Justin Jefferson has had to play with bad quarterbacks all throughout his career in the NFL. Well, not throughout his career, but at least last year he had to play with bad quarterbacks. He was able to get the job done. And I don't even think J.J. McCarthy's that good. And obviously he's out for the year, so it's going to be Sam Darnold's year. But I think that Justin Jefferson will continue to score out. Also, on the other side, Christian McCaffrey's missing another week of football. He's a huge part of their offense. That's going to limit their scoring. The Vikings have a good defense. Obviously, so do the Niners. I'm not saying that. Hold on. I'm not saying that. But I do think the Vikings have a little bit better of a defense of an offense chance than the Niners. And I'm still going to take the Niners to win. I'm still going to take them to win by 5. But I think this is a high-scoring affair. So I think my picks for this game are Justin Jefferson to find the end zone, San Francisco to win and cover the 4.5 spread, and the total points over 47 points for the total game. I think this will be a really fun game at the end of the day. I'm not discarding that, but I still think that the favorite, the 49ers, will win and cover the spread. Now, the Seattle Seahawks traveling into New England to take on the Patriots, and here is where I get a little twisted. Kenneth Walker's not playing, right? Right? So hear me out. We saw how they played last week. I'm not saying they played great, but they did what they had to do to win, and that's a team I like to see. Yes, if you do blowouts every week, you look really good. But when you win every week, that's better. Well, that's good too. And I think that the Patriots play for what they have to win. I don't think they play to blow their opponents out because I don't think they have the ability to do that. No, I'm not saying that. But I think they play to win. And I think with Kenneth Walker, a key piece of the offense out, and they're going to have to throw the ball a lot with Geno Smith, who I don't think is a viable quarterback. I would rather have Jacoby Brissett over him or Drake May over him. For that reason, I'm going to go Patriots. I'm going to go the Patriots to win and cover the spread. I still think DK Metcalf is my touchdown scorer. I think that it goes under 41.5. I think the Patriots win. Keys of the game. 1. Kenneth Walker, K9 is out. Kenneth Walker, out for the game, right? Seattle doesn't have a viable quarterback who's been in a pass heavy offense because Kenneth Walker scored 2 touchdowns last week in their win. DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are regressing. It's not really in hiding. They're not as good as they used to be. And the Patriots are younger. Which is always a good thing, but I think here it is. So the Patriots to win, DK Metcalf to find the end zone, and the total points under 41.5 for that game. The next game we have 2 more 1 o'clock games, and then we have 3 4 o'clock games and our prime time matchup. Our second to last one have the New York Jets. The 0-1 New York Jets who got blown out on primetime, traveling to Tennessee to take on the team who blew a 17-point lead without allowing an offensive touchdown. The Tennessee Titans. That's right. Caleb Williams didn't throw, run, or hand off one single touchdown in week 1. Yet, they still came back 17-1 on a pick-6, block punt, 2-point conversion, and field goal. Crazy work, and field goals, yeah. My prediction for this game. Here's what I'm looking at. I think the Jets win. And that's not a surprise. I think it's going to be Aaron Rodgers' first win since the injury. And here's why I think that. I think that because a few things. Aaron Rodgers is an experienced quarterback, and he has Allen Lazard and Garrett Wilson around him. He's already has experience with Allen Lazard. We saw Allen Lazard find the end zone 2 times last game. Garrett Wilson is an amazing receiver. He got 60 yards and 6 receptions. Most of them were very good receptions that we saw. And they were just a very good player at all last game, making great catches, great third down conversions. Breece Hall, obviously. Breece Hall. We all know his name. He's a great running back. He had 93 yards and a touchdown last week. He was amazing on the ground, and I think he'll continue to find his way. And when you go to the Titans side, maybe Tony Pollard, yeah, he catches your eye. He's the new guy there. 94 yards, 1 touchdown. That was pretty good. It was a great week for him, but I don't think he finds the same success behind with the Jets defense in front of him. Calvin Ridley, 50 yards last week. I don't think he finds the same success. So here is the picks for the Jets versus Titans. Total points over 44.5. Jets to cover the 3.5 spread and win. And Breece Hall to find a touchdown anytime. Those are my picks for that game. If you want to write them down somewhere to keep them. And put them in your DraftKings, put your house on it, and you're guaranteed to win, obviously. And then, so that's my predictions for that. I think the key to the game is bad quarterback on one side, good quarterback on the other, obviously. More experienced offense on the other, more chemistry on the one, and obviously more team morale. Even though they got blown out, they're just happy to have their quarterback and not blow a 17-point lead. That's an iffy one, but I still think that's a good, decent enough reason to why the Jets will win. Now our last 1 o'clock game is the New York Giants traveling to Washington to take on the Commanders. They are not DC. Obviously, Commanders 0-1, Giants 0-1. The bad thing for Philly and Dallas fans is that one of them has to win. They both suck. The only time one of them gets wins is in the division versus each other. I know they broke our undefeated streak, the Commanders, a few years ago. But honestly, I'm going to take the Commanders to win this game. Okay? And I think they're going to win the game by. I think they're going to cover the 1.5 spread minus 1.5. Here's what I think. Here's why I think this. Daniel Jones had a very bad week 1, and getting off the team plane and being heckled is not something you want to see out of a quarterback. And it's a bad look for the organization too, not the organization, the fans. As a Philly fan, I've seen how this one ended before. I didn't like the ending. We heckled our players. They declined and left. Carson Wentz, Ben Simmons. These are all problems that have happened before. Daniel Jones is going to decline more than he has and eventually get cut or leave. Daniel Jones, not a viable starting quarterback. They should have traded up or drafted one when they had the chance, and they didn't. They kept him, and they lost Saquon. They have nothing on that offense. Their best offensive player is a rookie. That speaks numbers. That speaks numbers when you're talking football. Then you look at Washington. While they don't have much, they have an experienced running back, a young and promising quarterback, which New York could have gone and got, but instead said, you know what? No, we're going to draft a wide receiver instead of trading up for the quarterback. And then they have a man who made a name for himself last week, got shot, came back, scored a touchdown. Then they have experienced tight end. Obviously, Terry McLaurin, a great player. I think he'll find the end zone. And that's the keys to the game for me are the Giants show no promise in week 1. Not a single drop. The Commanders have a young and promising quarterback who I think will play really good against a bad defense. And those are just my 2 keys to the game. I only need 2. I don't need 3 or 4. Those are the 2 keys. And so Washington to win and cover the spread. Terry McLaurin to find the end zone. And the point value under 43.5 points. That is it for the 1 o'clock slate. We are down to the 3 4 o'clock games. Here is another, I believe. Hold on. Yes, here's another in-division matchup. The Los Angeles Rams versus the Arizona Cardinals. My prediction for this game, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Arizona is going to get dominated. Arizona is going to lose every fiber in their being, every hope they once had. I know they have Kyler Murray. I know they have Marvin Harrison, but they're going to get decimated. Their offense didn't look fluid last week. It's not going to be any easier this week. Well, it did look fluid, but they couldn't find the rookie. They couldn't do much, and most of their touchdowns, one of the touchdowns was a kick return, and then their only other and then their other 2 were both from James Conner and Michael Wilson. Those guys aren't going to make good names for themselves this week. Rams are going to win. Point value under 47. Rams to cover the spread. I think the Rams are going to win 31-3. Yeah, 31-3. Why not? Rams score prediction 31-3 Rams. And the end zone is Cooper Kupp waiting for his touchdown, waiting for it because he will find the end zone. And that is another lock. Okay. Now we have another game. Justin Fields. Wait. Hold on. Is Russ playing? Let me see, because this will determine my prediction. It will. Uh, he was limited in practice, so they should start Justin Fields. I think if they start Justin Fields, they win. If they start Russell Wilson, they lose because they're going into Denver to face the Broncos. Some history there with Russell Wilson. Broncos, let's ride. If you know what that means, you know. That clip that came back to haunt him. But the stat was that he had more toilets in his mansion than touchdowns thrown in the year. It's bad. Those fans are going to heckle him like crazy. He's not going to be able to do much production with his limited resources. Besides George Pickens. And I just think Justin Fields obviously won't get heckled as much. He's a fan favorite everywhere, really. Obviously, not when you're versing him, but I don't think the noise will be as loud for him. I think they're going to be able to run in there and go 2-0 if they start Justin Fields. They did score a touchdown last week. I think that changes. They won off of only field goals, which is insane. But that just shows how good their defense is. That just shows how good DJ Watt and Minka Fitzpatrick duo is. That shows how good all of that stuff is. And so that's the reason that for this game, I'm taking the Steelers to win. I'm taking them to cover the 2.5 spread that they are favored by. I'm taking the point value under 41.5 because of how good their defense is. I don't think Denver will score much points. Our last two games are some really, really, really good ones. First game, Bengals vs. Chiefs. Now I'm going to be straightforward and say my prediction right away, and I can explain why. And even though this is going to be a really entertaining game, and the Bengals have the keys to beat the Chiefs, they're going to lose. The Chiefs are going to beat the Bengals, and it won't be close. First off, this game is in Arrowhead. I know they called it Burrowhead, and then the Chiefs shut them up, right? Yeah. And also, one thing that has been about the Bengals in the past few years is that they suck. They suck to start the season. We saw it last week. We saw it last year. We saw it the year before that. They are not good to start the year. So that's another reason to ride with the Chiefs. You want another one? Running backs. Wide receivers. Tight end. Yes, this matchup looks good on paper when you just read the Bengals versus Chiefs, but then when you look more into it, it's like this is not the Bengals. This is not the Bengals they used to be. Yeah, actually, you know what? I'll give them wide receiver, but running backs. They lost Joe Mixon. They don't have a good running back. The Chiefs have Pacheco. The Chiefs have Travis Kelce. The Chiefs, they don't have great wide receivers, but the chemistry between Mahomes and Kelce has been years entwined. This is going to be an easy win for the Chiefs, and I think Pacheco and Kelce both find the end zone in this one. Those are my two picks, and I think the point value does go over 48. I don't think it will be a decent game. I think KC wins by the 6-point spread, and I say Pacheco and Travis Kelce both find the end zone. And we made it. The last game on Sunday. The Cincinnati Bengals versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, I'm not gonna edit that out. I think that's extremely funny. And if you watch this video for 20 minutes and 20 seconds, you deserve to see that very funny mishap. Obviously, I didn't score on my phone. For some reason, I didn't realize that was the same game. Because I was the same game, but I didn't memorize the games. I have them on my phone here. This sports app, real fastest sports app, has all the games, everything in live time. It's how I predicted Bryce Harper's home run at the restaurant tonight. I knew that already happened, and my grandpa was very negatively talking him, so I had to go watch this home run, and then he home run, but I was unreal. I knew it. I knew it was coming. I saw that in play runs, logo. But besides the point, the last game of the day, the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams traveling to Houston at 8:20 p.m. to take them on in primetime Sunday Night Football. This is a hyped up matchup because you have the young proven guy in CJ Stroud and the young unproven guy in Caleb Williams who didn't have a great week when debut. And I think this game will be amazing. But I think this will be right down to the wire. I think the Texans will win this game by a field goal. I think they might kick a game-winning field goal because here's the thing: Caleb Williams, I think he's a generational talent. I'll say it. I don't care what people say about how he paints his nails or how that affects his game because it doesn't. At the end of the day, it really doesn't, and people think it does. It makes no sense. That's on the field. That's off the field. Off the field. Two on the field. It doesn't matter if he pitches now. So game day, it really doesn't. And it doesn't affect his play as a quarterback. He's been doing this his whole life. He knows what he's doing. I still think he's generational, but I also think C.J. Stroud is generational. I think C.J. Stroud. Yes, they both have tools, but I think Caleb Williams has the old rusty set of tools, and C.J. Stroud has the new, clean, shiny set of tools that he just bought. And Caleb has the hand-me-down tools that C.J. was using in the past before he got here. That's not even true. The tools came from different teams, but you know what I'm saying. I think Caleb's tools, Keenan, DJ, DeAndre, hand me down. I think CJ's tools, Tank, Stephon, Mixon, are kind of newer and shinier, and Tank and Nico alike. So for my prediction for this game, I think that the Texans win. What's the spread, actually? Let's see, because that's also how I get the spread. It's real sports. Oh, hold on, I gotta sneeze first. Not sure what that was. That was a weird noise, but another one I'll leave in there. Houston by 6.5. Nope. Chicago's gonna cover that. Point value is gonna be over 46.5. And to find the end zone, I'm gonna go. Oh, this is a good one. This is a Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon will find the end zone. Yeah, he'll run in. If you watch this video for 31 minutes and half of a minute, or a fourth of a minute, or well, it's gonna be half by the time I wrap up. Thank you very much. If you listened, if you liked, thank you very much. If you subscribed, thank you very much. But if you just watched, also thank you very much, because it is really cool to see those view count go up a little bit, and that's probably partly the reason I'm filming this. You know, it does hit you when you see 0, 0, 41. It's like, oh, okay, all right, get back to work. But thank you very much. See you afterwards to talk about how I did, and yeah. Thanks for watching. Oh, also, go Phillies! They won today, down 4-0, came back. Thank you, Bryce Harper. 2 home runs, and his first in months. And anyways, signing off, NFL Sunday. Here we go.